Welcome to the Skip and Shannon Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. You can catch us Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific on FS1. Here's what this podcast is all about. It's an unscripted, unfiltered, undisputed version of the day's show, and there's a lot to get into in today's podcast. Shannon says he would trade Dez Bryant. Skip declares the Cowboys are Dak's team. Chad Johnson tells an orientation story of Belichick ripping Brady. And Chris Broussard explains why Steph Curry won't win MVP. Plus, the NBA season starts tonight, but what team is already struggling with sharing the ball? Let's get to it. I heard today is a special day for you, Skip.
Would you allow me to take one moment to say happy birthday, Mom, in Oklahoma City?
Aw, happy
birthday,
Way to go.
Mom,
So great.
I hate to give you bad news on your birthday, but I'm about to bust your boy up.
Oh,
I'm about to
you know
bust him
what?
up.
Just because it's her birthday, I'm going to let you have that. And I also want to say I cannot wait to see my old sparring partner, Chad Johnson. He's going to sit right there in just a little while. Maybe you can teach him a thing or two,
bust him
right?
up, too.
Okay, good.
Happy birthday, Mom. Chad Johnson is here live in studio. He'll be coming up later on in the show, but we're starting it off in Dallas. Dez Bryant is expected to make his return Sunday night against the Eagles. Dez missed the last 3 games with a knee injury, but he ran routes and caught passes at practice yesterday. The Cowboys are 5-1 and have won all 3 games without him. Skip, can Dez fit back in with the Cowboys?
Skip, before you get started, he didn't do any cooking classes in the bye week, did he?
No, we
hope
kept him
not.
from making
Okay.
any
No more
carrot soup.
carrot soup. No.
Okay.
But I have indigestion right now. Because to answer your question, can he fit back in? I am really not sure, and it really scares me to death. This is straight from the heart. As a Cowboy fan, as a Dak backer, I am fearful of what Hurricane Dez might do to the new unity and chemistry and momentum of the new Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott's team. We all know what a great talent Dez is. I used to love Dez, but we also know that Dez has become the favorite of the owner and unofficial head coach, Jerry Jones. And you can tell me Romo's his son. I think Dez is even more of a son than Tony Romo is. And I fear that Jerry, over several years, has spoiled Dez almost beyond repair. It's real close right now. This wasn't ever really Tony Romo's team. This was Dez Bryant's team, because Dez, as we know, according to recent reports, has been able to show up pretty much when he wanted to show up. Late, on time, mistreatments, maybe not mistreatments. He got to do whatever he wanted to do because he knew that Jerry was going to cut him some slack and have his back until Jason Garrett, maybe Jason Witten, back off, leave him alone, let him be Dez Bryant. And we know that Dez has been allowed to take over huddles, demand the football, throw the occasional sideline tantrum without penalty from the owner and the unofficial head coach. And now the big question for me is, will Dez Bryant answer only to Jerry Jones, or will he answer to Dak Prescott? This is now Dak Prescott's team. Dak is going to throw it to whoever is open. Dak is going to take no guff off nobody in the huddle. It's Dak's huddle. And in the big picture, I wonder exactly what Dez has learned over the last 3 games standing on the sideline. I'm willing to bet there are a number of teammates who are glancing sideways saying, why aren't you playing today, big guy? Because again, he was cleared by the trainers and doctors, we were told 3 games ago, but Jerry wanted to ease him back into the fray. Jerry had his back. And I'm wondering what Dez thought, because I know those teammates knew that they won 3 straight games, 2 of them on the road, and they won them impressively. Bryce Butler is obviously knows Dez Bryant, but you know what? He's not bad. Bryce Butler can make some plays at 6'3", 210 pounds, and he's timed in the 40 in his past 4.4. So he's got talent. He might even have more talent than Dez. I don't know, but he's not Dez unless Dez is not Dez. And so now the big question is Dez going to be cool with this being Dak's team? The big question for me is, can Dez Bryant become a great but quiet cog in the Dak attack? I don't know. That's a lot to ask of this kid because, to me, he's still a kid, and he's only known one way, and it's been Dez's way. it's Dak's team, but it's still Dez's way. And I'm very nervous about this going into Sunday.
I'm not as concerned as you are because I believe that Dez saw the team win without him. He knows if he caused a commotion now, the fans and the media will be all over him. There are two groups of people that really care about whether or not Dez Bryant gets his numbers. Those who have Dez in fantasy and Dez and his family. Those are the only two groups of people that really concerned with Dez's numbers. Because in the first game, Skip, they lost. So he has a legitimate gripe, says, give me the ball, give me opportunities to make plays. I can help this offense.
Quick point of order.
Okay.
He did drop a big touchdown pass that game.
Go
ahead.
But and he only had one catch, 8 yards. So he has a legitimate gripe. Look, guys, I'm a Pro Bowl. I'm an all-pro wide receiver. You didn't bring me here to be a decoy. You didn't bring me here and give me $70 million with $40 million guaranteed to catch one pass. Let me help you make this offense go. Now he's on the sidelines. He sees this offense as a finely tuned machine. So now, if I'm Dak, I go through my progressions, and wherever the reads take me, that's where the ball's going to go. If Dez is not open, I'm not giving Dez the football. I'm not force-feeding Dez to try to say, I got to go in the game and get Dez 12, 13 targets. Hopefully he can catch 8, 9 balls for 100-plus yards. That's not how this offense has been effective. This is not how the offense has been efficient. They need to stick with this formula. Run the football between 30 and 40 times and let Dak throw the ball between 22 and 25 times. That is the recipe for a great dish. 5-1. So I don't think Dez is going to cause a ruckus. I really don't, because he doesn't have a leg to stand on. What can he say? We won, but I only caught 3 passes.
Yep.
Now if they lose, he gonna be Dez like Dez always does. But if I'm Dak, his commotions on the sidelines, they don't concern me, because I know in the grand scheme of things, I know at the end of the day, I know that owner got my back, because you notice Tony Romo is still not healthy yet.
He's not healthy.
He's not healthy. All along we said, they didn't put him on IR, even short-term IR, because Jerry said he could be ready at any time, and there's nobody that we could give that spot to that would be more valuable than Tony Romo. Now, after the bye week, Tony Romo, for some miraculous reason, is still not healthy. So now Jerry has a new favorite son. His name is Dak Prescott.
Well, let's hope so.
So Dez now has to play second fiddle to Dak. Dak, do not concern yourself with him throwing temper tantrums on the sideline, him yelling at his wide receiver coach, Derek Dooley. That doesn't concern you. Look at the sheets. Maybe you don't like the tablet like Coach Belichick, but do what you normally do on the sideline to help your team get to 5-1.
Yep.
Do not concern yourself with Dez's antics or actions. Do not let him talk you into force-feeding him the football, because I have yet to see you throw the ball in double coverage. So that's telling me you're going through your progressions and you're letting the coverage dictate where you go with the football.
Exactly.
Don't buy into Dez foolishness.
I am with you. Now, in defense of Dez Bryant, game number 2 at Washington, he did catch 7 balls for 102 yards on 12 targets. So Dak was saying, I'm going to get you the football. But remember, they weren't Dak Prescott's Cowboys yet. They were 0-1 at that point, and they were just winning the first of 5 straight games, so it hadn't evolved yet to where it is today. And yet, I want to say, I think I don't know Dez Bryant personally, but I've watched him closely enough and talked to enough people about him. I think his heart has always been in the right place. Like, he's not a bad guy who's just beyond reach. So I think he can come around and be a good part of this. But it's so different. Like, let's say this were Shannon Sharp in your heyday. You were the leader of 2 football teams. Let's go back to Denver heyday, okay? And so let's say you're coming off, let's say, a Super Bowl year. And for whatever reason you're hurt, you miss 3 key games, and the team takes off without you. Well, I know you're going to come back and be yourself, because you didn't miss a meeting. You went to all your treatments on time, and all your teammates knew that you were thoroughly committed to the team.
Absolutely.
Instead of committed just to Shannon. So it wasn't about Shannon, it was about our locker room and our team, and he's one of our leaders, so nobody's going to have a second thought about how will your big personality fit back into the new chemistry of our team. You're going to do whatever it takes to find your new spot in the new order, right?
Yes, a lot of that had to do with John Elway, because these great quarterbacks are not going to allow you to show them up. You're not going to show up a John Elway. You're not going to show up a Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. Dez has never had anyone that he's thought. See, Dez came there with the ideal in his mind that I'm bigger than Tony Romo already.
Correct.
So now he has nothing to hold him in check.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I looked at John. John was there before I got there, had gone to 3 Super Bowls, had won MVPs. So who am I to say, John, throw me the football?
Yeah.
Myself, Ed, Rod, we competed in practice. First one get open, that was the first one going to get the ball. We understood that. But for me to cause a ruckus because I'm not catching the pass, even though we're winning.
Yep.
Hold on. I thought the main goal was to win. Now, if I wasn't catching any passes and we weren't winning, I might look at him like, okay, now let me help you. Mm-hmm. But for me to try to cause a disturbance when things are going along smoothly, that makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
I knew we were a running team.
You're
TD
right.
going to get his 25 to 30 touches.
Mm-hmm.
We know that. Okay, if you get on average 65 plays, that means John's going to throw the ball probably 30 times. Now you got to divvy that up between me, Ed, Rod, Howard Griffin's going to get 2 passes, TD's going to get a check down. We got to divvy those balls up. Hot man's going to get it.
Well, just remember this about Dez Bryant. Tony Romo was an undrafted free agent from Eastern Illinois. Dez Bryant was a first-round pick.
Exactly.
And John Elway was a really high first-round pick.
He's the
first pick, right? So last quick point. I think he's rooting for Dez to come back so it will disrupt the chemistry. But that's just just me. I'm just guessing on that.
I am rooting for him to come back because I want to see as many great players on the field in the NFL as I possibly can. But you know what, Dez? Yeah. Come on, Dez.
Plus, I didn't think you liked the NFL. You think it's impossible to watch it anymore.
It's unwatchable.
You don't care, yeah.
Did you see that 36 penalty fest in Jacksonville?
That's okay.
It
happens every once in a while.
36, Skip?
Did you see that Seattle, Arizona game? No, you didn't. You fell asleep. I forgot. It's okay.
No mercy. Kevin Durant will make his highly anticipated debut tonight at home against Skip's Spurs. Odds makers have the Warriors as heavy favorites to win the NBA title. Skip, how will Durant fit in with the Warriors?
It's going to take a while, and I'm not sure it'll ever be a great fit, to the point that I think this Warriors team will be far more vulnerable than that one last year. Because, Shannon, in all my years of covering sports, the more I think about this, I've never seen anything quite like it. And the Warriors were obviously damned if they do or damned if they don't. You can't say no to Kevin Durant, but you also just came off 73 wins, the all-time most wins ever, and you're going to throw a former MVP into that chemistry mix, really? With a guy who's just won back-to-back MVPs? Never anything like it. Far more fascinating to me than even what happened that you saw up close and personal, 2011 in Miami. That was LeBron joining, as close to a brother as he could have who's not his real brother, right?
Yes.
In Dwayne Wade. I mean, they're like blood brothers. They're best friends. They're soulmates. They were going to figure out how to make it work because Dwayne immediately said, as you remember, basically, I'm Robin now. He's Batman. He's got the most talent. I got my ring. But obviously, Robin subtly was willing to help Batman figure out how to win a championship. And he did. And the mix here is more volatile because Kevin and Steph they're friendly, but they're not friends.
Right.
And the only saving grace here is that, as I've said before, Kevin's heart's in the right place, but he's not an alpha. He's more of a follower than a leader. So maybe he has more capacity to blend into this mix. But the more I look at the numbers, the harder it gets to make it fit because Harrison Barnes took the 98th most shots in the league last year, 9.6 a game, 98th most. Kevin Durant took the 5th most shots in the league, so you're going to replace the 98th with the 5th. And Steph took the 2nd most shots in the league. And by the way, twice in Kevin's past, he's taken the 2nd most shots in the league, so something has to give. And Steph, listen, he might be the baby-faced assassin, but underline that word assassin. And he is an alpha, and it is his team, and he is the back-to-back MVP, and he's taken a back seat to nobody.
Right.
So I think it's going to be a struggle for a while. I think because of the cap issues, they lost some critical depth, and most of all, they lost Andrew Bogut. He was one of the best, if not the best, rim protectors in basketball. Their defense will suffer some. So all of a sudden, to get better, quote unquote, they got a little worse. And in the end, it just makes them more vulnerable. Now, can I make a case for another team in the West breaking through? I'm going to save that until a little later when Chris Broussard joins us for the first time on this show here at Fox. But the point is, I look at this, and the harder I look, the worse it gets to me, to where all I can say is the 73 wins can't be any more than maybe 60 to 63 at the most this time. They're going to be more vulnerable than they were a year ago.
I agree with you. And for a lot of the same reasons that you said, you're asking 4 players in their absolute prime, the absolute apex, to come together for a common goal. Now, when LeBron went to Miami, D. Wade was never thought of as the best player in the league. Kevin Durant at one point in time was thought of as the best player in the league.
I agree.
Steph Curry says, okay, you might be thought of as that, but I'm the 2-time defending MVP. And the last time I won the MVP, it was the first time anyone had ever been a unanimous MVP. Now, we have on record Klay Thompson saying, I'm not sacrificing bleep. Draymond has already said every time I shoot the ball, Steve Kerr is looking at me side-eye.
You're right.
So now he want me to go from shooting the ball 8 times to shooting it 3 times. I don't see how that fits into the mix. It's a lot more difficult than people think when you blend talent and egos, especially when you got 5 guys. Basketball, because it's so superstar dominant. And it would be like A.J. Green all of a sudden joining the Atlanta Falcons with Julio Jones. Julio's going like, I'm top dog. A.J. Green say, bro, did you see my resume when I was at Cincinnati? They brought me here for a reason. Julio says, I'm going to need my 13 targets a game. A.J. Green said, I'm going to need my 13 too. Well, 26 targets between the 2 players, how many times you expect to throw the football? Are you going to run it? Whose shots get sacrificed the most? KD is a volume shooter. He needs his 19 shots. Steph Curry's going to need his 18 to 20 shots. Klay going to want his 16.
He will.
So Draymond is a guy that you don't really run offense for him. But if he's open, he's going to want to shoot the ball. And if I'm teams, I want him to shoot the ball. I don't want Klay. I don't want Durant. I don't want Steph Curry shooting it. All things being equal, I want him shooting it. So it's a hard mix to get together because you got 4 all NBA players, different levels. You got first team. KD was the second team last year. Klay was third team. Draymond was third team, but he was first team all defensive.
Yeah.
These guys got egos.
Big.
These guys, look, I won a championship. KD, you ain't won no championship. Klay and Draymond say, I won gold medal too. You ain't got no championship. Yeah, you got a lot of individual talent. 4-time scoring champ, all that, yeah. But we play, Steph Curry was scoring champ last year. It's a lot easier to say it when it's not actually there. Oh, man, if I just play for that team, I don't care if I catch passes. We're going to get to a guy that's going to be on here today. Remember, he went from being the man in Cincinnati to being a guy in New England, and he was never the same player. So we're asking Kevin Durant to leave his comfort zone where he can shoot as much as he wants and no one can say anything because he and Westbrook was going to take the bulk of the shots. Now you're going to a situation, you got 2 guys that's already there that's going to put the ball up between 35 and 40 times before you even step in the gym. I don't know how that's going to work, Skip. I think it's going to take a lot longer than they think because guess what? In the closing seconds, who takes that last shot? How does Steve Kerr divvy up the minutes? Steve Kerr has the hardest job by far because he has to appease all these egos. And contrary to what, and like you said, people look at Steph Curry and say, isn't he cute? He's so small. He's so
cute.
Okay, cute. Cute said, look, I'm a 2-time cute MVP, unanimous. I'm a champion. I'm a scoring champ. I need my buckets. And KD, I know what I told you. See, it's like a recruiting trip. What head coach at a college tell you, son, you really can't play. You got no chance to play. They're going to tell you everything they can to get you there. They will promise your mom, your son is great, blah, blah, blah. They get you there. Okay, get to work. Kate, it's a brotherhood. I couldn't believe how unselfish they are. All they care about is winning. Okay, well, you're about to find out. There's a lot of work because they build up trust between each other because they grew up together. You're the weed that's in the garden now. How do you blend in without getting pulled out?
I don't know, because he's talked about it's a beautiful thing how they share the basketball. Well, Kevin's never really had to share.
Right.
He can. He's capable. He'll dish it. He's pretty good at it. But is he capable of just being a cog in the flow? I don't know.
But here's the thing: if you look at Steph Curry, if you look at Kevin Durant, those are two guys that really the bulk of their contribution to a team is scoring. See, LeBron can do so many other things. You know, there was a time LeBron was the de facto. He was a legit shut-down player. He could guard anybody and says, okay, I got you tonight. You're not getting anything. See, he could do so many things other than score. Look at Steph Curry. They lost because he couldn't do anything but score. And then once his scoring went away, he was just a guy. Kevin Durant, he's not really locked. Now, he can play defense.
He can block shots.
Yes.
If he puts his mind to it, but he's going to have to focus on it more than ever.
But then what gets sacrificed? His scoring.
Correct.
So now, if you're talking about a guy, see, Draymond is the guy. He's the only guy that points don't define what he is. He can rebound. He can block shots. He play great defense. He can assist the ball. So Klay is the one guy that really, he takes the best opposing player every night and can still go get you 20. And on a good night, you let him get crazy, he can go get you 40. But those other two guys that's in the middle of that monitor, Skip, the bulk of what they provide is scoring. And when they can't score, how into the game? Steph Curry's not finna get up into anybody. He's not gonna really rebound the ball. And if you noticed, as his points goes up, his assists have come down. So now that's the interesting dichotomy that Steve Curry's gonna have to balance. Yeah. There's only so many shots, one basketball, 4 egos. So what about the fifth guy? He's like, well, what am I? Am I just supposed to take the ball out of bounds and let y'all go?
Just quick in defense of Steph, he will lead the league in steals. Now, because he's roaming like Iverson used to roam, he'll play center field and disrupt this or tip that ball or steal that ball.
But they got a lot smaller, too. You lose Bogut, you lose Azili.
It's huge.
So you lose
not huge.
Now, you replace them with Zaja, okay. You think
he's
Zaja?
not a shot blocker. Doesn't block any shots.
And then David West.
Boy, he was a disappointment for my Spurs last year. He was not what I thought he was going to be.
This is why you don't leave $13 million to take $1 million to try to win a championship, because it's not guaranteed, Skip.
No.
There's no such thing, a better chance. There's no, you still have to play.
I still don't blame him for trying. This is his best chance to win a championship, but I'm going to predict right now they will not win the West this year. I won't tell you who I'm going to pick to win the West.
We already know who you're going to win.
Are you going to tell us later?
Yes, okay. I'm going to tell you later.
One thing we know about you, there are certain things that you're dug in on, and you don't, look, it'll take an act of God. Even if God tell you come down, if he came down here, Skip Bayless, this is the team, you're like, God, I'm going to have to disagree with you. I've never disagreed with you before, but I'm going to have to disagree with you.
I don't know. I think Skip
I'm
would
about
take
to
that.
unleash.
Joy, he might be wrong again. This guy.
I'm going to unleash and tell you why.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see tonight. The Warriors are taking on the Spurs at 10:30 Eastern.
No mercy.
Des Bryant is expected to make his return Sunday night against the Eagles. Des missed the last 3 games with a knee injury, but he ran routes and caught passes at practice yesterday. The Cowboys are 5-1 and have won all 3 games without him. We're joined once again by Chad Johnson. Chad, do you think that Des will fit right back in with the Cowboys?
Most definitely. Most definitely. He's the best player on the Cowboys team, the entire team. and please, I really can't wait to hear what you say. You let Dez come back, you incorporate him in there, you work him in there slow, but you never forget who the best player on your team is, regardless of the injury that he just had.
Did you just say that Des Bryant is the best player on the Dallas Cowboys?
He wears a star on his helmet for a reason.
Child, please. I'm about Now we're going to get down to it. The new best player on the team, and it's not even close, is the quarterback who just got drafted in the 4th round out of Mississippi State. Dak Prescott is not only the most valuable player on the Cowboys, he's the most valuable player in the league to date. Now, we got a long ways to go, but he is the MVP in the National Football League so far.
Wait a minute.
And the second most valuable, I'll give you a shot.
We're
in
in
just a
week
second.
7, right?
Yeah, well, I just said so far. We got a long ways to go. The second most valuable player on the Dallas Cowboys is a young running back, a rookie running back named Ezekiel Elliott.
Nice.
And the third most valuable player on the Dallas Cowboys is a unit. It's the entire offensive line.
Yeah.
I'll take all 3 of those over Des Bryant right now, because these are the new Cowboys with new unity and new chemistry and new momentum. and you're still thinking, in my view, like a star receiver, dare I say, a diva receiver who thinks that you are the whole show, when Dez has had to watch 3 straight Cowboy victories, impressive victories that he didn't think they could pull off without Dez Bryant. And what more proof do you need that they can win without him?
Wait a minute. We're in week 7, right? Mm-hmm. Dak has played extremely well, not taking anything away from Dak. Dez has missed 3 games, and all of a sudden you run this train where you don't need your best player now.
I didn't say you don't need him, but he needs them more than they need him.
We have a long season ahead of us.
You got it.
You're trying to make a playoff run and be a Super Bowl contender, and you mean to tell me Dez isn't needed because they have a great offensive line, a great running game?
But you realize he has run this team for the last 5 years. It's been Dez's team because the owner loves him some Dez Bryant and let him show up whenever and however he wanted to. He missed meetings, he missed treatment.
That has nothing to do with the game of football.
Yes,
and playing
it does.
Football. No,
it has to do with winning football.
When he gets in between those lines, he plays the game of football the right way.
But you're distracting and detract. I know you hate that
word.
word. But
okay,
let's do it this way. You are detracting from the unity of the locker room because everybody's looking sideways as he gets to do that, but we're supposed to show up for the meeting on time. You can ask the Hall of Famer who never was late except for one meeting when he was a rookie, but that's the only time he was late.
Chad, I'm going to have to disagree with you. I always felt and I'll always feel the best player should be your hardest worker. He should set the example for everybody else. If Dez is their best player, the best player doesn't miss meetings. The best player doesn't miss treatment. The best player is not late to these events. You look at all great players, and I tell you what, if you get, I'll call them all up and we can talk to them. All the guys that wear the gold jacket like I wear, we'll find out how many of them. I'm not saying they didn't have issues. I'm saying when it came to football, how many of them missed meetings or was late to meetings?
We don't know Dez's personal issues. We don't know what happened on why he was late. But missing those meetings or whatever happened, that's in-house. That shouldn't even got out for us to even be sitting here talking about, for one. I only care about what Dez does once he's in between those lines. And to me, based on what they've done so far this year, it's fine and dandy. I'm talking about long run and the person that is proven, not what they've proven the past 7 games or 6 weeks. That's it. That's the best player to me. The one who throws up the X with the star on his helmet.
Okay.
Period.
You know that guy.
Let me finish. I love Tony Romo's out, right? How much of the playbook you think has been squeezed down and not being used to capacity because Dak is a rookie? Do you think they're using their full playbook?
Some.
You think so?
No, I do not. I don't think they're
so?
using the full, but it's pretty good. If you watch it works.
What they're doing right now, it's working. But we have a long way to go for you to be on that bandwagon the way you are. I love what they're doing. Zeke is a beast back there. There's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can say. But that's another weapon that you're going to need in the long run to do what you say you want to do, that everybody came in training camp to do, and that's get to the playoffs and be a Super Bowl contender. And you writing off the best player.
I'm not writing him off. I just said
you basically did.
He's going to have to come back and be a we. He's going to have to fit
He's
into
already a we player.
What
are you talking about? When you line up.
He takes over the huddle. He throws
How did he take over the huddle?
He's screaming for the football like you and T.O. used to do.
I don't scream for the football. I don't even talk to my quarterback in the game.
All right. T.O. did.
No, T.O. didn't.
Yes, he did.
Show me film.
Well, I'll show you the film of him ranting up and down the sidelines on Greg Knapp.
No, he didn't.
You've seen it?
No, he didn't. I've never seen T.O. do anything wrong. Never. I don't know.
You're looking through.
We have the same
rose-colored glasses.
That's water in that cup, too.
Yeah.
That's water in the cup. But see, Chad, this is where you and I part ways on the Dez situation because I do.
You're not on my side.
No.
You an offensive player.
I'm on the right side. This is where you and I part ways because I do care because it's more important than what you do on the field because I want you to set an example. See, I recommend that they trade Dez after the season.
What?
Because I want the negative.
Oh, my God.
I want that influence. I want the influence out of the locker room.
Is this a script?
No.
It's a script.
No.
Somebody talking to your ear?
No.
You can't be serious.
1,000%.
You trading Dez?
Absolutely.
To do what? To do what?
Defense. Give me a defense. Look.
You're going to get it. How long is that going to take?
Oh, no, I'm saying I can draft for what I'm going to get there.
Who?
I do not want his. Because here's the thing. Listen to me. Here's the problem that you're going to have. Because Zeke and Dak sees what Jerry and Jason Garrett is allowing Dez to do. So when Ezekiel Elliott or Dak wins Rookie of the Year, or one of them wins Offensive Player of the Year, say in the next 2 years, then what do? See, they're in line right now because they're a rookie. But they see the type of behavior that's allowed if you are a great player. That's
so basically you saying, so are they sheep? or are they wolves? So they gonna follow behind Dez? They're their own men. Dak is his own man.
So
Ezekiel Elliott is his own man. So why are you using the experiences through Dez and saying everybody gonna follow behind him?
Because everybody's not leaders. You know that, I know that. So stop playing, Chad. Don't come up here and try to shine and talk about everybody their own men. You know that's not the case. The leaders of that team, guys, look to the leaders, and you want positive influence leaders in your locker room. See, I just can't. See, I cannot block out everything and just say, okay, Sunday is the only thing that
So
matters.
he's not positive because he missed meetings.
That's a negative, absolutely.
That's a negative.
Negative.
He missed a meeting.
Miss meetings.
Okay,
plural.
Two.
Sideline tantrums
You
are okay
never
with
been
you,
late?
right? Sideline tantrums.
What tantrum? I see
Throwing a fit.
passion.
Okay.
When Tom Brady does it, it's okay. When Aaron Rodgers does it on the sideline, it's okay. So Dez can't show passion?
Because
he's a diva?
not getting the football.
I've never seen that. I've seen him
I
getting
have.
everybody hype. I've never
seen a
it.
number of
We
them.
watch the same TV. Who's your cable provider? I got DirecTV and I never saw it.
I'm DirecTV now.
No, but seriously, that's passion on the sideline.
I get
What is he doing?
passion. I was passionate. I wanted the ball. I wanted to win. I wanted to win more than I wanted the ball. Now, if getting me the football was going to increase our chances, but I never wanted my coaches to have to address something I was doing on the sidelines or something I was doing on the field that wasn't resulted in a touchdown or a big play. So because if my coach has to address any actions on the sidelines or the field or me missing meetings or treatment, that's not football related. Football related is X and O's. What'd you do on two-jet flanker drive? Why didn't you run hot, Shannon? That's what my coach needs to explain. Not Shannon had an 8 o'clock appointment and didn't show up. That's not football related. If it deals with X's and O's, I'm down with you.
So now, as football players, everybody's hearing this. Please don't miss any meetings your entire career and don't miss any treatments. Like,
Hold on, hold on. What's your job? Look, see, the thing is...
That's gonna happen. That's like something happened to you being here late to work. It's gonna happen at some point.
I'm going to call them, but it's not gonna be look here. If my bosses tell me, say, Shannon, we got a meeting tomorrow, I'm not blowing off the meeting. You got appointment to get your knee MRI.
He said he blew it off. You don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. We just know it came out that he missed it. It might have been a little late.
He said he didn't go to the MRI because he was afraid what the news would be if he found out. That's what he said. Now, if it's a lie, he told it.
In fear of what it would be. But we gonna turn around and just say,
Chad,
he ain't show up.
Chad, my grandma used to always tell me, boy, a lie don't care who tell it. Now, if it's a lie, he told it. He said he did not go get the MRI because he was afraid of the news that he would get. Now, if it's a lie, he told it. Now, if you co-signing the lie, co-sign the lie.
I'm not co-signing the lie. I'm just saying, like, we're harping on him not missing all that stuff, but not listening to the reason on
There
why.
are no reasons, Chad. You can be a professional without being a pro. You can't keep making these excuses. Stop making it. See, that's what bothers me about people. When they continuously make excuses for these guys, there is no reason. He got a second job? Is he moonlighting? Because why he can't get there on time? Why is his time more important than mine? Look, I get the situation. Everybody came from a different background, Chad.
5 years. How long you been playing? 5?
I was late for 2 meetings in 14 years. I was late. I didn't miss anything.
So right now, he's been late for 2 as well. So y'all even.
No.
Yeah,
Stop it, Chad.
yeah. He's been late for 2. Don't pound any more on him. Don't pound any more on him, because I remember the 2 incidents. Let's leave it at that. Now the rest.
You willing to go on record and say in 5 years, Dez Bryant has only been late to 2 meetings. You're willing to go on record and put your name behind that.
That's what we've talked about, right?
No.
That's what's been addressed, right?
You willing to put Chad
The
Johnson.
MRI and he missed a meeting. That's 2.
That's this year.
I'm sure it hasn't been any other before that.
You willing to put your name? You willing to
I
put
think
Ocho
there
Cinco
have
on that?
been.
Are you willing to put Ocho
reports.
Cinco on that?
Yeah.
I really think so. Don't do that, Chad. Across y'all.
Man, y'all killing me. Like
I know.
the
Didn't you miss
knick-knack, the
this?
knick-knack, the knick-knack, the knick-knack. Man, what you doing for me when you in between those lines?
No, I wonder what
That's
you're going
it.
to do to me before you get between them lines.
And the people that's doing it great, that ain't in between the lines, that doing all the stuff in the classroom, can't give you nothing out there on the field.
Not always.
What you doing out there for me on that field?
I brought it every time. I like to think I played okay on Sunday, Chad.
I know, you great.
You can do
great. You're great. I can't sit here and argue with you and you got a yellow jacket.
Chad.
I can't
Chad,
argue with you.
Chad.
I don't want to talk to you no more.
Being professional and playing on the field and being on time for a meeting,
Man,
they're not mutually
You're
exclusive.
gonna have your ups and downs in everything you do, regardless of your workplace.
Well, I think.
But I want to
Skip
know
is-
your production. What you doing for me
What
when you out on
Skip
that
is
field?
nervous
What have
about
you done?
is
What
the
have you done for me
production.
lately?
correct.
They not judging you off that
Okay, what you done for
classroom.
him lately?
He's been hurt. Don't do
See,
that.
you just said
Don't do
you
that.
just said that.
Don't do that
I'm
to
going
me.
by what you said.
Don't do that to me.
You said that.
The best player in the Cowboys is Dez.
What has he done for him lately?
He's hurt, but you know what
But
you
you
get.
said what had.
He's hurt, but you know what you get when he's healthy.
So what was the last thing I remember from Dez? What's the last thing I remember? You said what have you done for me
So
lately?
you siding with Skip?
Just an update, Lee.
So I'm just.
It's
Are you siding with Skip? Is all I want to know.
What?
Are you siding with Skip?
Do
So are
you have an
saying
updated
Dez
resume?
So are you saying Dez is not the best player?
I can't send my resume
Okay.
in from 2010.
Time out.
You can't.
You know
be
what just
serious.
happened, Joy? Shannon Sharp just made me feel sympathy for Chad Johnson because he beat him up so badly.
Beat.
Yeah.
I don't lose.
Well,
I'm
I mean,
like
it was just
Floyd
like it was
Mayweather.
unfair.
I'm dodging everything, man.
That's the
Yeah,
great
he-
thing about the table. Everybody always leaves feeling like they won.
No mercy.
The Patriots will take their 6-1 record and 3-game winning streak to Buffalo on Sunday. During their years together, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick have won 4 Super Bowls since Brady became the starter in the 2001 season. Joined once again by Chad Johnson. Chad, you played a season in New England. Who deserves more credit, Brady or Bill?
You know what? If I had to think about it, I'm not a huge numbers guy, not a huge guy that goes back and looks at stats and facts. But if I were to take someone who deserved the credit, I would have to go with Brady. Looking at Belichick's resume before Brady came along in his first 6 seasons, they weren't up to par as to how they've been the past couple of years or for a long time now at this point. But if I would have to say, definitely have to say Brady. So you look at what Belichick did before Brady came along in his first 6 seasons, in Cleveland and what's so not, and you'll see why.
Yep. I'm with Chad on this one. I'm 75% Brady, 25% Belichick, just because it's a quarterback's game.
Right.
And he did get fired, Bill did, in Cleveland for various reasons that we could go deeply into, but he was starting to be on a hot seat in New England that year, and Tom Brady had fallen out of heaven into their lap in the 6th round of the draft. Now, this was Tom's 2nd year, but how fortuitous was it that Drew Bledsoe got hurt, and there was Tom Brady, who ran the geekiest, most awkward 40-yard dash in the history of the Combine, and he can flat out play, and he is making a case he's the greatest quarterback ever. I'm still with Montana, but we still have a ways to go with 39-year-old Tom Brady, who's still playing at the highest level. I take nothing away from what Bill Belichick does with that defense, because he does masterful work with that side of the ball. But in the end, you can't do what they keep doing without number 12.
Right.
I go back and forth. I mean, it wavers back and forth. But I'm going to go 55 Brady, 40 Coach Belichick, 5% Robert Kraft. Because if you look at the NFL in its history, no coach, owner, and player has been linked in the NFL as long as these two have.
That's true.
And Coach Belichick wins without Brady, but he doesn't win Super Bowls. Brady is the guy that cracks the glass ceiling that'll get you Super Bowl. You can win games with other quarterbacks, but that's what makes franchise quarterbacks different. And I told Skip earlier, Chad, you can be a franchise quarterback or you can be the quarterback of a franchise. And there are a lot of quarterbacks of franchises, but franchise quarterbacks will deliver that. But Mr. Kraft, to stick by, he's devout. Because he could have easily, after Spygate came out, he could have easily dismissed Coach Belichick.
Could have.
Because that's a stain on that's also on his resume
It
too.
is.
He stood by. He says, I believed in him. He told me this was a one-time thing. It won't happen again. I believe in him. Deflategate, he's devout in his praise. He looks at Tom Brady as, now you talk about Jerry Jones looking at Tony Romo as his son. He looks at Tom Brady as his son for real. And he will go down tooth and nail. There's not an amount of money he wouldn't spend, that Mr. Kraft wouldn't spend, to clear Tom Brady's name.
Now, for a while during Deflategate, he left Tom hanging
He left
high and dry.
Yes.
For a while, because he's a league man in the end.
Yes. And so you have to give him some credit because he signs the checks. But while signing the checks, he's reserved. I'll stay in the back over here. I'll keep letting them hand me these Lombardis. Hey, Bill, you and Tom, y'all keep doing what y'all do. I'm sitting back over here. Hey, don't worry about me. Bill, what you need? You need a DB? Go get him. You need go get him. Tom, what you need? Oh, they gonna suspend you? Well, how about this? What we gonna do? We gonna give you $13 million. We're gonna make your base salary this year, so they'll only take $200,000 instead of that $2 million they would have gotten. That's what I'm gonna do for you, Tom. So he got to get some of the credit. But in 97 years, I know I'm not going to live another 97 years. There's a great chance. There's probably, you never say never, but there's only an infinitesimal chance that you'll ever see this again between an owner, coach, and a player.
Quarterback.
Did you know Mr. Kraft? Did you get to?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah,
And?
most definitely. Great guy.
He-
great dude.
you
really
know-
great dude.
You know, he's a big sneaker guy.
Yeah, huge.
And I ordered
you ever
the
see you always wearing Air Force Ones with the suits?
Air Force Ones, and I got a pair of when they won the Super Bowl in 2014. I got a pair. I said, Mr. Kraft, I got a pair of those shoes. He said, did you call me? I said, no, I bought them. I said, I would like for you to sign them. He said, send them to me. I haven't sent them to him yet, but he's the greatest. And I told we were at the Hall of Fame banquet. I said, Mr. Kraft, you deserve to have one of these jackets. And you know, it's almost like he started telling me. He said, no, I don't know if I'm. I said, Mr. Kraft, you're more than worthy. Oh, he will have a go
Most
because he's one of the preeminent. I mean, so now when you start talking about model franchises and how it's run, the Steelers, you might not like the Bears, but the ownership, the family owned. I got nothing bad to say about Mr. Kraft. He's a great guy.
It's one thing. It's one thing to be able to watch the Patriots, watch the success, but to be able to understand and learn the man behind the master plan that makes all this possible, and then to meet him and then realize, oh my goodness, this man is that cool. It's like he's really talking to. It's like I'm sitting here talking to you when you're talking to Mr. Kraft. You would have no clue that he would be the owner if you didn't know who he was.
He told we were talking, and this was last year. He put his arm around me. He said, "Did you hear about the trip that I arranged for some of the Hall of Famers?" I said, "No, not really." He says, "I took about 20 to 30 Hall of Famers and their wives. I took them to Israel for 10 days, and they got baptized in the River Jordan." He said, "I would love to take you." He said, "It'll change your life." And for him, I mean, Mr. Kraft, all he knows is that I played against. He doesn't know me like that. But for him to come up to me unprompted and to say, put his arm around me and says, "I would love for you to do this one time." He said, "Shannon, it will change your life." I mean, for that, I got nothing but respect. I mean, you have to respect the organization. Coach Belichick, now he's buttoned up, but if you get him away, he will tell some jokes. He got some stories to tell.
He got some great stories.
Okay, but speaking of that, explain what Tom Brady is really like behind closed doors.
What you see, Tommy is cool as well. When I think of Brady, and you people watching, y'all just have to stick with me and sort of get an understanding where I'm going with this. Tom Brady is like a Michael Bublé, a Harry Connick Jr., Frank Sinatra, Robin Thicke. You get where I'm going?
Yeah.
What you think you're seeing is like, and then the dude you talk to him, he's so cool. His mannerisms are like Obama. Do you understand what I'm saying?
President
Obama. His mannerisms are like Obama. He carried himself in such a way, it's like, look at the way Brady dropped back. How you dropping back cool? Like, who dropped back cool like that? Man, dude is so cool, man, and it was a pleasure playing with him. You know, unfortunately, I wasn't able to help him that much, but just
Was he different at all
No,
behind
man,
closed doors? Same?
No, not at all. Same way. What you see is what you get. You know, like Belichick. What you see is what you get. There's nothing different.
How many meetings did he miss?
Who?
Tom Brady.
Uh-oh, here we go again.
He didn't miss any.
Oh, okay.
He ran all the meetings, right?
Yeah, just stick a little more in there.
Actually,
I-
wait,
yeah,
can I tell a story? You
Yeah,
think I get in trouble for this story? Because
Well-
Patriot stuff is usually kept in house.
Try it. Go.
Is it cool?
We got
It's
your
not that
back.
bad.
We
Listen.
don't work for the Patriots.
Okay, but listen, let me tell you what scared me as a player. First day, team meeting. Everybody coming in, everybody getting in. And Belichick puts on, first day, no greeting, no nothing. He puts on the loss to the Jets in the playoffs or something where they went home early. And he puts it on and rips into Tom. First meeting, no practice, like everybody, and he's going on and he's at Tom's head. I'm like, is this a joke? Like, are we being punked? Because from my understanding, as a coach, you don't chastise your quarterback, and you definitely don't do it in front of everybody.
Right.
And he laid his you-know-what out, and I was like, oh, my God.
So
Oh, my God. And that set the tone right there for me. I was walking on eggshells from that point on.
So that's the orientation. Because everybody that's in that meeting room says if
Oh.
he does that to that guy, What would he do?
I
to me?
wonder if he told that guy ahead of the meeting, I'm going to do this to you.
I've never.
I
I
doubt
played
it.
14 years.
I
I
doubt
played
it.
10
No.
years with 7.
I doubt it
9 years with 7.
because in practice, different altercations would happen, and it helped me understand why they are so great year in and year
Where
out.
Bill would get on Tom.
Man, when I was there, head coach in Houston.
Bill O'Brien.
No.
Bill O'Brien.
They expected so much, and everything had to be here at all times. You mess up a play, let's run it again. You mess it up again, let's run it again. Like everything was perfect. Like it was. Remember Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah.
Remember the beginning of Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah.
That's what it's like being there, man. Everything on point, and Bill is that drill sergeant.
That's how. You know what a great
Oh,
coach.
it's run like differently than any other organization. I haven't been everywhere, but it's like you walk in New England, man. It's straighten up, man, head up, man. What you
That's-
want
You
me
know
to do?
It works.
Perfect plays.
It works.
Make great practices. Not good plays. Perfect
Good
plays.
plays, yeah.
Chad, thank you so much for being here.
Wait,
It's great
what,
having you.
leaving?
It goes fast. It goes fast when you're having fun.
We can invite you back. You can come back.
I ain't inviting back. I ain't leaving.
You're not in good enough shape to keep doing this.
Yeah, I
after
am.
this.
With a
You-
contract. What I saying? Y'all think y'all just gonna have me and send me
No.
home? I ain't got nothing
You
to
know
do.
what? You're pretty good at this.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I need a little surgery on my face. I'm gonna be all right.
Thank you for being here.
No mercy.
Steph Curry begins his quest for a third straight MVP tonight. Right now, Russell Westbrook is the MVP favorite in Vegas, just ahead of Curry and LeBron. Chris Broussard is still with us. Chris, who is your MVP pick?
I'm going with LeBron James. Yeah, and it's.
I'm shocked. No, I truly am.
Are you shocked?
Yes.
I'm going with LeBron to win his 5th MVP, which would tie that ghost in Chicago,
The
Michael
ghost
Jordan
that
that
he's
he's talking
chasing,
about.
he'll never
that he's
catch.
chasing. I hear you on that, but I think LeBron will win, and partly because I think there's obstacles for the other guys. Russell Westbrook, the favorite. Are they going to win enough games?
Right.
You know, it's been since 1982 that someone won the MVP without winning at least 50 games. That was Moses Malone. It's happened 4 times in history, but 3 times in the 70s. 82 was the last time. Now voters, I'm a voter, they take winning into consideration. You're the 6th seed or whatever, 44 wins, you're not getting the MVP vote unless he would average a triple-double or something like that. Now, and this is the thing. You look back to 2014, 2015, when Kevin Durant was out for most of the season. Westbrook played 40 games without Durant and with the Thunder. They had Serge Ibaka.
Yep.
They had probably a better team than they have right now, and Westbrook led that team. They were under 500 in the games that Westbrook played without Durant. Now, his numbers were through the roof. 30 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds a game, but they were under 500.
Right.
So I don't know if they win enough games. I want to throw another name out, James Harden. His numbers are going to be ridiculous. They're probably 27 points, 10 assists, probably break a league record for turnovers too. But I don't think they'll win enough games, although I do think they'll make the playoffs. Steph and Kevin, I think they
Will
cancel
LeBron
each
play
other
enough
out.
minutes to win
That's the
MVP?
one question. They want to keep him at about 32. Now, he's been efficient the last several years, very efficient.
have to be even
but
more
that's the
efficient.
one argument.
And
Yeah.
that's the look. I told Skip we discussed this the other day, and I said because he's not going to play enough minutes. But then he came back a couple of days later and said, "Well, Steph won it playing 32 minutes. I can win it playing 32 minutes." And plus, he left something in everyone's mind. Y'all saw me in the playoffs last year. I'm still the best player out here, so I believe he can average 25, 7, and 7.
You're doing this too? You're going LeBron?
I'm going to.
Oh,
Hey,
oh,
What's shocking about
I don't
that?
know. It's like too much.
he
Is he going to run for president?
He said
Yes.
he can win the MVP playing those 30, 32, 33 minutes.
Yeah.
If he says it, who am I to
Which
disagree?
means it's in his mind.
Who am I to disagree with the king? Are you watching tonight when he get that ring?
Yeah, I'll watch.
I got to hear this. If you don't
We-
think it's
we're gonna have to
LeBron,
go, so-
I got to hear who this is.
It's going to be Russell Westbrook. He's going to average a triple-double, and that will sway the voters. And it's first time since Oscar did it in 61, 62. And I think they will be better than a lot of people think. I think they will end up being the 4th best team in the West, and that will be good enough for the voters to go
Even
ahead
if they
and
don't
say,
win 50.
Yeah. I mean, I think they'll be
Fifth.
close.
Even if they win 40, I think they can get the 4th seed too. But triple-double?
I do.
Wow.
I think he
They're
can
gonna be
do
better
it.
than Portland? Because I got
I
Portland
think those two are battling for the 4th seed.
Yeah.
No mercy.
This is the Skip and Shannon Undisputed podcast, where we're delivering you an unscripted, unfiltered, undisputed version of the biggest topics of the day's show. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. You can like us on Facebook at Undisputed on FS1, follow on Twitter at Undisputed, and catch us 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, Monday through Friday on FS1. You can find us on channel 219 on DirecTV, 150 on Dish. Thanks for listening. I'm Joy Taylor. Tune in Wednesday. Jeezy will be joining us live in studio. You won't want to miss it.
Fox Sports, one of one.